Guys, it's me, Shell360, and I'm here with another snacks video. Ignore the hair. I was in a hurry. I wanted to do a video, so this is what it is. But yeah, today we're doing the last of the Tomm Tomme snacks, and then I've got some open chips that I want to talk about because I love chips. Chips are one of my favorite snacks in the world. I just think there's something about the crunchiness and the savoriness of chips, and they're so easy to eat that I love them to bits and pieces. But yeah, let's start with the last of the Tomm Tomme snacks, which is the Noble Super Cola candy. I've tried this before. I've tried the lemon one before, but Tomm Tomme he gave me the Super Cola one, and he wrote on there, "This is cola candy. Beware. The powder on the outside is super sour." Okay, so I tried one, and it was really, really sour. But because I know you guys like to see me make an ass out of myself, I'll try another one on camera. But, these things, they're the worst. They are the worst. I'm not going to eat it all the way down to the nub, but just so you know, there's like a sour powder on the outside, and then there's like a sizzling bicarbonate powder on the inside. I'm not going to make it all the way to the bicarbonate, but I will suck the life out the outside. Oh, it comes in this little, they come individually wrapped like this. And inside, you've got this candy. See, it's a white ball. The powder on the outside is some kind of like citric acid powder, probably. It reminds me a lot of American Warheads, which I used to devour those things when I was in high school, but now I'm a grown-up and I just can't take sour the way I used to. There's a lot of flavors that I've noticed over the years I can't take the way I used to. Like, I used to be able to just eat jalapenos whole. I can't really do that anymore. I used to be able to take really sour things. I can't do that anymore. And I can't really stand super sweet things. It makes my teeth hurt. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's try this on camera. It's like punishment candy. I just have to get the rest of the powder off, then I can show you what it looks like without the powder. Okay. So this is what it looks like without the powder. And you see that white dot? That's where the sizzling bicarbonate is coming out of the candy. It's the worst. It's the absolute worst. Tomm Tomme, I love you. And I thank you for everything you gave me. You're a super sweet person. But if you're thinking of giving this to other people as a gift, don't make people hate you. Because they will hate you if you give this to them. This is terrible. Blah, 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 blah. Alright, so let's follow that up with something good. Chips. I have a bag of chips that I've already opened, but I'm still going to talk about it on camera because I feel like this is one of the coolest things ever. And it's a chip flavor I have never tasted in chips before. It's the Cheetos Jagung Bakar. I think that's how you pronounce it, Jagung Bakar. This is actually an Indonesian flavor of chip. This is not Korean. It's made by Layanan Konsumen Indo Foods. But anyway, it's a Cheeto. And I got this because when I first looked at it, I was thinking, okay, this is going to be like a Cheeto without cheese flavor. But it's not. It's something completely different. So this is what the chip looks like right here. As you can see, it's dusted with a little something on it. But it's basically a Cheeto with no cheese. But the taste, yeah. The taste is creamed corn. It is a cream corn flavored chip. If you've never had cream corn, they sell it in America in a can. It's basically like corn. It's like you've taken it's almost like you've taken a stalk of corn and you shaved the corn off of the cob, and then you took some of the kernels and you mushed them up to make kind of a corn juice poultice mixture, and then added whole kernels and cooked it together. That's creamed corn. That's what this flavor is. It's sweet, really sweet, but it's not sweet like sugar. It's sweet like corn juice. I know, corn juice. That doesn't sound appealing, but I promise you, these are actually pretty interesting to eat. I would never sit and eat a handful of these because it's a very unique flavor, and it's a very strong flavor, even though it's mild. That seems like that contrast. Like, it's not spicy, it's not super sweet. It's sweet, but it's not like, it doesn't make your mouth kind of twist up sweet. It's not salty, so like in terms of all of those kind of flavor regions, it's not strong. It's mild like that, but it's so powerfully corn flavored that I don't think you could eat a whole bunch of these successfully. This is like maybe 2 or 3. I've got the flavor of corn. I'm good. Let me set these down. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. I've never ever had creamed corn flavored chips, so that's really awesome. Now onto some American chips that I recently opened. I've got these two here. These are cheddar and sour cream and smoked Gouda and chive. Now I got these at the grocery store because they're doing that thing where like you have to pick a flavor, one wins, one doesn't. And I'm like, okay, well let's just go for it, see what's going on. The only two that they had where they had both flavors were these two. And I've opened them up so you can see what they look like. So this is the cheddar cheese and sour cream, and on the inside you can see it's a bright orange chip. This is the smoked Gouda and chive. You see it's a lighter colored cheese, and it's a much lighter colored chip if you can tell. So the cheddar cheese and sour cream. I'll get one of these out. It's a pretty basic cheese chip. I love cheese chips, so this is awesome. Very mild. And definitely is cheese flavored, but it's not like, it's not sharp cheese, even though it is definitely cheddar, probably because it's got the sour cream, so it's a very mellow cheese flavor. I like it. It's a little salty, it's good. Now here's the smoked Gouda, which, oh man, right away it smells like the funky section of the grocery store. If you've ever been one of those like really nice like Whole Foods type grocery stores where they have like a cheese bar or cheese section, this smells like expensive cheese, which to me is not always a great smell, but yeah, it has that like cheese smell. All right, and this is the chip, light colored, kind of looks like a sour cream and onion chip. Let's try this out. Okay, so this is gonna sound really weird, right? Smoked Gouda and chive. This chip tastes like a bacon sour cream and onion chip. Like the smoked Gouda, maybe I just don't eat enough Gouda to know what it tastes like, but it tastes like bacon. So this tastes like bacon with sour cream and onions. I really dig it though. Yeah, I like this one a lot. I mean, both of them, as far as I'm concerned, can stay. I like them both. But if I had to choose one, this would be the one I'd choose. I don't think this is everybody's flavor palette because this is a way stronger cheese taste than maybe the other one is. Oh, and it's definitely a stronger smell. This is not a party chip. But I really like the flavor. That's pretty good. Okay. So that's pretty awesome. Now, excuse me while I lick my fingers. It's a bad habit. I shouldn't do this. But I did it anyway, so sue me. Now I want to talk about something I got in the mail, and then I just want to have a little chat/discussion with you guys, because that's what these videos are for. So I got something really cool in the mail the other day. I got this, which is Shiny's The Horror Show Minho Frankenstein paper doll. I'm so excited about this because I don't buy a lot of Shiny merchandise. Like I do buy photo cards, because I get photo cards in my albums, but sometimes I don't get the photo card I'm looking for. So I'll buy photo cards, and I've bought a couple of merchandisey kind of things. I bought some Siam stickers, a Siam standee. I've bought a couple of Polaroids and some star cards, but I don't normally buy like shiny keychains, post-it notes, scarves, sweaters, trinkets, stuff like that. But I got this. Number one, because it comes with a Minho photo card in it, so that was pretty cool. But also because I saw the pictures of these put together and they looked so adorable. So I pre-ordered this before it came out. It finally came in the mail to me yesterday, and it comes with a lot. It comes with 2 paper dolls. So this is the first paper doll, and then there's a second paper doll that you can't see unless you open this up. And then it's got the little background for the lab, and then it comes with this kind of like box house thing that you're supposed to put together to put the doll in. I'm not sure if I'm going to do an unboxing of this on my other channel because it's a lot, and I don't want to put this together on camera because I just don't think I have the patience to put this together on camera. But it's so freaking adorable, and I'm really excited about it. I just love looking at it. Even though I haven't put it together, I just love looking at it. Look how bright and colorful it is. I almost want to get all of them, but this one alone cost me, because I pre-ordered it before I could get on like any of the other websites, it cost me $22. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And that's part of what my chat is about today. It's about the cost of being an international K fan and maybe some assumptions people make about fans like me who buy a lot of K-pop. So, to begin with, it costs a lot of money to be an international fan. Just flat out, it costs a lot of money. I imagine it costs a lot of money to be a fan in Korea anyway. Don't ignore my hair. My hair is a mess. I imagine it costs a lot of money to be a fan in Korea anyway, because a lot of this stuff, even though I'm paying a premium to have it shipped to me, I know that some of the retailers I'm buying it from are charging me really fair prices outside of the shipping, and it's still not cheap. You still can buy a CD in Korea for about $10, $12. And when you're talking about SHINee, Taemin's last album had 4 different covers, so you're still looking at about $40 even if you live over there. Me, I'm getting it shipped to me. It's about $75 because I'm paying another $25 maybe in shipping because I have so many CDs. So yeah, it's not cheap to be an international fan. But I also don't like the fact that people think that because it's such an expensive hobby that maybe something's wrong with me or other people who buy all of these things. Like, people act like you're a crazy person because you buy 4 versions of the same album. And while I'm not always a supporter of the different member versions, in fact I have a whole video on my other channel about how I'm sick of the multiple versions of the same album. At the same time, my interest in collecting K-pop and my wanting to have these multiple versions has nothing to do with the people who criticize me, because I don't ever ask them to give me money to be able to do these things, so they really shouldn't be concerned about what I do with my own money. Also, I am an adult and I work a full-time job. In fact, I work 2 jobs. I work a full-time and a part-time job, and my part-time job is what is the money I use to support my K-pop habit. But also, just how is this any different than being a person who collects race cars or stamps, or a person who's like a big shoe horse where they like are always buying the latest shoes? Like, there's some guys out there who people consider normal who will plunk down $150 for 1 pair of shoes, and they'll have a closet full of these $150 pairs of shoes. How is buying 5 albums for that same cost, actually, depending on who you buy it from, less, how is buying 5 albums for $100 any worse than me buying a $150 pair of shoes? I don't think it is. Also, you know, I don't buy albums just to have albums. Like, there are some albums I do buy for collection purposes. My SHINee multiple copies of stuff, that's for collection purposes. Me buying both the Mandarin and the Chinese version of an EXO album, that is for collection purposes. But there's other albums I buy simply because I really, really love the music and I want to support artists making physical copies, because in the day and age that we live in, physical copies are a dying thing. Like, so many of the independent artists I listen to for K-pop, they do not make physical albums. And so I support the idea that a physical album can still sell, that's still a money-making venture for an artist. And with Korean pop, it's so much different than American CD packaging. If I buy an American CD, I'm getting a jewel case, and that's just what it is. And actually, the last time I went to the store to buy the last 2 American albums I bought in person, they weren't even in jewel cases. They were in like cardboard, almost digipacks. So packaging wise, it's a fail for Western music. But K-pop, I'm getting an entire photo book filled with, you know, tens of pictures, sometimes even maybe 100 pictures. It's got a photo card, it's got a genie code, which I can't really use, but if I could, that'd be awesome. I mean, it's filled with all this wonderful stuff, and that's so different than American. So like, it's almost like buying a piece of merchandise instead of just buying the music. And for that reason alone, to me, it's worth the $15, $20 it took for me to get it here. And you know, if you are a person like me that shops a lot, after a certain amount of time, you really aren't spending as much on your collection as you did in the beginning. I know probably the first year that I was buying K-pop stuff, I way overpaid for a lot of things. I really, really did. Because I didn't know the sites to go to. I didn't do a lot of research. I was just like impulsively buying stuff. I bought EXO's Overdose for like almost $30 when it came out. That's crazy. Like, that's not even anywhere close to sane. But at the time, I was in Dallas. I was at the H Mart. I saw it on sale. I had never seen K-pop albums like in person like this before. I'd seen them on like YouTube, Amazon, stuff like that, but I'd never like seen a shop where you just pick one up. And I was just so grateful to see it that I'm like, yes, I want to buy it right now. Give it to me. And, you know, hindsight being 2020, what the hell was I thinking? But, you know, here I am today, and now when I buy albums, I buy my albums from Ketchup CD because they have great prices, great shipping prices. Their shipping is very reasonable. And also, if you are a regular shopper with Ketchup CD, once you buy a certain amount, they start knocking back the prices of your CDs. So like once you spent $200, they start giving you a 1% discount. And then when you spend $300, they do 2%. And it's one of those cumulative totals. So it's not even just like if you spend $200 in like 5 months. It's one of those things like if you spend $200 this year, you're going to get 100% off. Or not 100% off, but 1% off like that. But I've got sites where I'm regulars, where I shop a lot and I buy in bulk so that, you know, my shipping helps offset the cost of these CDs. I do a lot of used CD shopping, which is another thing that research is really important for. There's a lot of K-pop CDs where if you can find it used, you do better to buy it that way than to buy it new. Now, if it's a CD from a group and the CD just came out like maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, I always recommend buying it new because it helps out the artist in terms of record sales. But if it's an artist that maybe is no longer a functioning group, like let's say you wanted to buy C-Clown's album and C-Clown has since disbanded, you could buy it new, but sometimes an album won't come with photo cards. It just is an album. And if it's just an album, why not get a deal and buy it used? Because most people who sell used CDs, and I say most, they keep their CDs in really good condition because these CDs are expensive. So most people aren't going to give you something that's like been drugged to hell, because most people take care of their CDs because, like I said, they're expensive. And definitely when you spend a lot of money on something, you want to take care of it. But yeah, people have this assumption that there's just something frivolous or, you know, wrong about having these large K-pop collections. And yes, probably with the money I've spent with K-pop over the last 2.5 years, I could probably buy a really decent used car. Not like a great used car, but at least something with 4 wheels and some air conditioning. But at the same time, that's not what I want. You know, I don't want that. I want my K-pop, and it makes me happy. And there's a lot of things that I don't do because I buy my K-pop. I don't buy a lot of clothes, but I'm not a clothes horse. I don't buy a lot of different shoes. I tend to wear a pair of shoes until they wear out. That's just how I am. I bargain shop on a lot of different things. I don't go out to eat a lot. I cook at home because that's one expense I can spare myself. I don't do a lot of traveling because, you know, I could use that money for something else. But I don't live a deprived life either. There have been times in my K-pop collecting where I've been like, you know what? I think I've overspent this month. Next month, I'm going to take it easy. Or, you know, like when the year was over, when 2015 was over and we went into January, I took like a 2 or 3 week hiatus period. I didn't buy anything. And then after I got my tax money, I'm like, okay, let's do a little shopping. But yeah, I've taken breaks before because I just needed a break. So that's why I'm saying, you know, it's like anything else in this life. You know, you have an interest. You choose to focus your energy and resources towards your interest. And my interest is no different than somebody who likes to work on old cars and spends money on parts. My interest is no different than somebody who loves nail art and gets their nails done every single week and does something different with their nails all the time. My interest is no different than somebody who collects DVDs and movies and has like a huge DVD movie collection. But for some reason, because it's foreign, and that's really what it comes down to, I think. Because it's foreign and because you have to order these things. I'm sorry I keep rubbing my nose, but my allergies are crazy. Because it's foreign and something you have to go and look for and bring it to you. And you can't just walk into a store to get it. Or you can't just go down to the corner and get it. For some reason, people feel like it's something weird or something out of the norm. And it's just not. It's just not. And this isn't even, for me, I don't know about you guys, but for me, this isn't even new behavior for me. I'm in my 30s. And when I was in my teens and 20s, I had a CD collection like you would not believe. I bought CDs all the time. I was a member of like Columbia House and BMG. And you know, they do that thing where like you buy 2, get 10 free, some shit like that. I was one of those people who would like fill them things out and get all the CDs. And every month when they'd give me like the selection of the month, I would keep my selection of the month and I'd buy 2 more CDs. And so like when I was in my mid-20s, I had like 500 CDs of American Western artists because that's just what I liked. I've always been a music person. So this is not new behavior for me. And back when I had 500 musical CDs, no one ever criticized me for having those CDs. Ever. Like, I never had anybody come to my place and I had my shelf filled with my CDs and they're like, wow, you could have really done something else with that money. Never happened. But with my K-pop, if I tell somebody, oh, I'm going to slow down this month because I really don't want to spend the money, it's about time. Spend all your fucking money on K-pop. You need to do something else with your life. And, you know, I'm lucky because I'm around a lot of really great people in my life. Like, most of the people that are in my life are just real cool and they don't say nasty things like that to me. But I know there are people who get nasty things said to them and that have family and friends who don't understand and they feel isolated and they feel shamed about their collections, and you shouldn't. You shouldn't, because there's nothing wrong with it. The other thing that I think also that as an international collector, also as just a collector in general, that is a pet peeve of mine, is when people go to my videos, because I'm on YouTube, you know, I'm on YouTube, but I'm on YouTube, and I show my collection, and people say, wow, you're lucky. Or people say, you know, I wish I could have that kind of K-pop. What do you do that makes it to where you can get it done? And my answer is simple: work. That's my answer. Work. I'm not lucky. I'm not lucky at all. I've overpaid for a lot of things. I've lost out on some eBay auctions that I really wanted. But then some other stuff I've gotten a good deal on. But, I mean, I've had to work for every penny of every cent of every dollar that I used to buy my K-pop. Nothing was given to me. Oh, I take that back. I've gotten some gifts from some friends. But most of the time, if my friends give me something, I give them something right back. So, no, nothing was really free, you know? So, I'm not really lucky. Also, you know, that's how I get my K-pop. And I don't think it's fair when people go on videos for people who collect K-pop, and this doesn't happen to me that often, but when people go on videos for people who collect K-pop and they leave one of 2 comments, these are the 2 comments that annoy me. One, sorry, that was subliminal Freudian slip. When they go on somebody's video and they say, why would you do something like this? Why would you buy this much stuff? Because I know that, like, Jongki on her channel, somebody had left the message like, you know, why would you buy 15 copies of Jongyun's base? I don't understand that. Why would you do that? First of all, it's none of your fucking business what I do with my money. So, you know, you should kindly shut the fuck up. But the other one that bothers me is when somebody goes on your channel and they feel like they can tell you what to buy. That, oh my gosh, when somebody says, you need to buy such and such's album. Why don't you get such and such's album? Now, that doesn't happen to me very often, but I watch a lot of different channels, and a lot of the people that I follow on YouTube, people go on their channel all the time and tell them what they need to buy. And it's just like, first of all, again, you don't need to worry about what I do with my fucking money. It's none of your fucking business. You're lucky that I show you what I have. Be glad that I do this and move the fuck on. But Tina Davidson, she's the one I noticed it the most, that she gets the criticism about where she spends her money, how she spends her money, where it comes from, and then people constantly telling her what she needs to buy. And people don't realize, like, it's so expensive. It's so expensive. And we're not rich people. I mean, none of the people that I know who collect K-pop are rich people. There's some people I know that have, like, decent incomes, but not rich people. None of us are flying back and forth to Korea every other week. There might be a couple out there, but most of us know. And so telling us what we should buy, that's really rude. It's rude. It'd be one thing if you say, have you thought about buying this and that, the other? That's a cool comment. But saying, you need to buy such and such, you need to kindly fuck off. That's my response. But anyway, this video has gone around and around in circles. It's super long. I'm sorry. I know you guys aren't here for that. But thank you again for always watching and hopefully enjoying. And if you have any pet peeves of your own when it comes to being a collector, I would love to hear them in the comment section down below. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.